a little bit of light, trying to find my heart. Funny when I break out a lifestyle dark. Honey when I break in a tight flow spot. When a psycho chart, playing dice, go start. Oh, who are you? Better know yourself. Know your soul, gotta know your will. Slow your roll, get a hold, don't melt, and don't you fall when I feel like hell. Oh, who am I? M.I.E. I'm not the one you wanna fuck with. Late nights messing up my sleep, so I'm flustered. Taking out aggression with my pen because I trust it. Writing, trying to get myself a lamb color trust for the game. Leave them hanging by a chain, click bang. Feeling rage, feeling fire in my brain, feeling insane. And it's always feel the flame, 45 till my brain, playing more, please fail, no glory.
What's up, guys? I'm King Maji coming guys with another video, and today I will be doing my 100 subscriber special. What if Deku had Ainz powers from the series Overlord? If you're wondering why it took so long for me to come out with this, it's because I've been having a lot of writer's block lately, and it was hard for me to find a way not to make Deku either a god or a villain. Like how to make him a hero even though he has so much power at his fingertips. And the fire's going around California. I had to evacuate my home, so that's a part of it. The fire was about 10 minutes away from my house. Luckily, my house is fine. I'm fine. I got to come back home. And after I got back, I started right on this. Only recently was I able to finish this. So, yeah, you guys. I hope you guys like this. Really, because it took so much out of me to think of a way to make this work. And for those of you guys who want Cartoon Cat, I will be working on that right after this video. So, without further ado, let's get into the story. Deku's life would generally go the same, except he would be even more depressed and dive straight into video games, creating a figure of power. He will only do this because in the real world he had no power. In the games, he was the strongest. One day, Deku would have been playing one game in particular, the game where he's the Supreme Overlord. He would say, this turns out to be a really great game. I didn't mean to make my character into an undead, but I'm glad I did. It will be the day of the game shutdown, so Deku would stay in and play the game for a while. He would then go to his castle and sit down, or his tomb, like the tomb of Nazarick. He will wait for the servers to shut down, and when they do, the server just shuts down, nothing else happens. He would then get up, go lay down, and say, "Goodbye, world." As he's laying down, he will have this strange sensation. He will appear in a dark void. Nothing around but him. Until a lich pops up out of nowhere. Deku will be screaming like, "What are you? Why am I here?" He would say, "Calm down. I am you." And Deku would say, "No, you're not." And he would say, "I am the you from that world." And Deku would say, "You are. You look exactly like my character." He would say, "Because I am. I have come to this world to give you the power you so rightfully deserve." And Deku would say, "Why?" "Because I became the Supreme Overlord in that world, while you remained a weak child in this." And Deku would say, "Really? That's offensive." And Ainz would say, "Am I wrong?" And Deku would say, "You're not wrong," but Ainz would then cut him off right there. "But nothing. I have come all the way here to give you this power. My power." And Deku would say, "Will I become a skeleton like you if I take this?" And he would say, "Yes, but you can hide that fact with illusion magic. But casting that illusion magic will restrict you to only being able to use first and second tier spells." And if you're wondering why am I doing it like this, it's because one of you guys asked me to make him like a skeleton the whole time, but I can't do that, so I'm gonna have him only go into the skeleton form when he needs to use more power. So that's that. Ainz would then say, "We will become one. My power will become yours, and your power will become mine. Along with everything I possess. My weapons, my gold, even the tomb of Nazarick will be at your disposal." Deku would say, really? And Ainz would say, yes. Afterwards, Deku would be like, I'll take the power. And Ainz would say, like you had a choice to begin with. And Deku would laugh, saying, that's the Overlord for you. And he would say, you're darn right it is. Afterwards, nothing. Until Deku would wake up, being in the body of Ainz Gone. He would start screaming and panicking, like, what's happening to me? That wasn't a dream. Until a mysterious force forces him to calm down. And he remembers how he could transform back into a human, or use illusionary magic to become a human. He would then go back into his normal form, saying, that wasn't a dream. With a mindset of an undead. Not a mindset of an undead, but just with a calmer mindset, he would think back to all his time in that world. All the powers, all the skills he learned, everything that he accumulated. He would then start to chuckle. Then he would transform back into Ainz Gone. Now, let me go over Ainz's abilities. Basically, his abilities as undead, he's weak towards fire and light, and bludgeoning. But basically, other than that, he's invulnerable. Like, everything in this world can't even touch him. And plus, if you're not over at least level 60, you will do little to no damage to him. I'll be covering spells in the next video, but did you know he can literally make a Sharknado? I'm not kidding, he can make a Sharknado, it's awesome. But, let me get back to the video. Deku will be in his room, and he will transform back into his Lich form. He will look at the ring of Ainz Gone, and then say, I could teleport anywhere in Nasrik, but since Nasrik is here at the moment, he would then teleport to Stonehenge, then the pyramids, then to the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Afterwards, he would teleport to Tokyo City, then teleport right back home. He will revel in the new power he's just been given. With this power, I won't be the #1 hero. I'll be the hero that protects the entire world. This will be Deku's new dream. Not to be the #1 hero in Tokyo or Japan, but to be the #1 hero that protects the entire world. He would then transform back and go to sleep. Later that morning, Deku would walk up to his mom and say, Hey mom, I unlocked my quirk. And she would say, You did? I thought the doctor... Deku would cut her off saying, the doctor was wrong. And Inko would ask, What's your quirk? Deku would then disappear and appear right behind her. He would say, Hi mom, and she would turn around. Then Deku would disappear again, appearing right behind her, saying, Hey mom, you missed me. He would then teleport again. And she's like, A teleportation quirk? And Deku would say, Nope. I believe I have multiple quirks, mom. And she would say, I'm so happy for you, while crying. Deku would then say, I'm gonna go out for a bit, mom. And she would say, Okay, be safe, okay, Deku? And Deku would then teleport away. Iko would be left there just weeping in utter joy about how happy her son just became. Deku would then change his clothes, then head out. He'll be walking, just smiling down the street saying, I wonder what spells I'll be able to use. And he would think back saying, I think all of them. With this power, I will protect the world and become the greatest hero to ever live. He would then be walking and stumble upon Bakugo saying, Hey, well, if it isn't the quirkless loser. And Deku would say, well, if it isn't the guy who gets his rocks off by bullying people weaker than him. How's life going, you bully? And Bakugo would be shocked by this, but then start to smile. He would then create explosions in his hands. He would come at Deku, but Deku would say, Despair Aura, knocking Bakugo out. And then Deku would walk away. He would walk away and then notice something. he has like a tab thing on his like a like. Do you know the thing in solo leveling? Like he has a screen with all his stats and stuff on it. He would look at it and see how much gold and stuff he has. He would see over 1 billion gold. Because I'm gonna make it over 1 billion because to revive Shelter, Bloodfallen, and Overlord, it costed over 5 million. And Ainz treasury still had a lot of cash in it. So, yeah. He would think, maybe I could get some real money out of this. He would then go to a pawn shop and a bank. He would have gotten a lot of money. Like a lot, for cashing out at least 25% of what he had. Deku would then think, I want to make my mom's life a lot easier. So he would then go buy a mansion. And if you guys are still doubting me, this is Ainz treasury. And barely any of that was taken away when he revived Shelter Bloodfallen. So he would then be thinking, time to surprise Mom. He would then teleport to his mom and say, I have a surprise for you, Mom. And she would say, what is it? And he would say, close your eyes. He would then grab her and teleport her to a mansion. And he would tell her to open her eyes. And she would look at the mansion saying, whoa. And Deku would say, this is our new home. Inko would then say, what? But how? And Deku would say, with my quirk, I managed. And she would say, but Deku. And he would cut her off saying, Mom, don't worry about it. But she would still worry about it. And Deku would say, let me show you around. They would then walk into the house. And she would be stunned like, this place is beautiful. Deku, you really need to. And Deku would cut her off saying, Mom, it's okay. And she would say, but Deku. But then, 2 maids would come out of nowhere saying, hello, Masters. Masters and young miss. And Inko would be like, who are these 2? And Deku would say, this is our staff. We have a lot more maids, but these 2 are the head ones. And Inko would be like, maids? How can we afford to pay you? And Deku would say, Mom, I've taken care of everything. Inko would still be wondering how Deku got all this. And Deku would say, Mom, don't worry about it. I'll tell you once I've shown you everything, okay? Inko would say, okay, but you better show me. He would show her the living room, and she would just be stunned about how beautiful it looks. The dining room, it's like, this place is so big. Then the in-home gym. And Inko would say, we have an in-home gym now? Then a giant basketball court. Like, not a giant basketball court, like a full gymnasium in their backyard. And she would have her mouth hanging open like, whoa. Then afterwards he would show her the kitchen. Inko would be like, Deku. And Deku would say, Mom. And she would just say, okay, show me the rest. He would show her his room. Then show her her room. She's like, this is my room? And Deku would say, Mom, I went around the world teleporting, finding treasure. That's how I got all this. Making up a bald-faced lie. Inko would be skeptical, but she would think, there are large parts of the world that have been unexplored. And Deku would say, Mom, I want you to have the best out of life. So, this is our new home. Do you like it? And she would say, like it? I love it. Then they would walk back into the living room, and Deku would say, so, we're gonna begin our new life here, Mom. And Inko would say, I guess we are. A few days later, Deku would be in his room laying down, going through all of his abilities, saying, how will I be able to use these practically? He would look seeing fire arrow, acid arrow, ice arrow. He would then go into the top tier spells like black hole and grasp heart, and create undead. Oh, and the wish upon a star ring, he would say. The wish upon a star ring said, in the game, if you make a wish, depending on how much XP you have, it will give you a random wish. But in this world, Deku thinks, if I give it a lot more XP, I will be able to do incredible things. Maybe even enhance people's quirks and stuff like that. Foreshadowing ahead. Or heal people. Or basically create cities. Or rebuild cities. Deku would then hear something from his mom. He would then come down seeing 3 people. A beautiful young woman, her mom, and her father. The maids would then say, these are the Yaoyorozus. They've lived here for a while. They're your neighbors. Inko and Deku would say, hello. They would say, it's been a while since we've had people here. And Yaoyorozu's mom would say, yeah, welcome to the neighborhood. Inko would say, thank you. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, where's your husband? And Inko would say, he's currently in the United States. Or USA. And they would say, so it must be a businessman. No wonder he can afford this house. And Inko would cut him off saying, my husband didn't buy this house. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean no offense. So you must be the one who owns it. And she would say, nope, my son bought this place. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would be shocked saying, how? And Deku would say, I have certain skills, sir. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, and he would be thinking, this kid would be great for my daughter. And if you aren't getting this is the ship. Inko would then say, let's go talk somewhere else. They will all go into the living room, and Inko, Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, why don't the adults talk? You kids go have some fun. Momo and Deku would then go off. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, did your son actually buy this place? Yeah, he recently stumbled upon his quirk, and he went around the world finding treasure and stuff like that and selling it. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, he must have an incredible quirk. And she would say, yeah, but I think there's more to it than that. And Mr. Yaoyorozu would then start asking about, does your son have a girlfriend? And Inko would say, nope. Does your daughter have a boyfriend? And all 3 of them would just be grinning. The 2 of them would be grinning, but Mr. Yaoyorozu would be sighing, saying, really, you're trying to set up our daughter? We cut to Deku and Yaoyorozu being on Deku's balcony. Yaoyorozu would say, hi, my name is Yaoyorozu. Deku would say, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Nice to meet you. Then they would talk for a bit and say, hey, do you have any plans for your future? And Deku would say, that's an oddly personal question, but I hope to become a hero. And Yaoyorozu would say, I'm planning on going to UA. I'm pretty sure I can get in on recommendation, because my quirk is creation. And Deku would say, I'm planning on going to UA too. Yaoyorozu would say, what's your quirk? And Deku would say, I have a lot of abilities, but here's one for short. He would then create an electric ball, tossing it into the night sky. It will permeate with electricity until it explodes, showing lightning particles turning into stars everywhere. Yaoyorozu would say, that's beautiful. And Deku would then look up, leaning over the balcony saying, with my power I hope to become the greatest hero. And she would say, you want to be number 1 just like All Might. And he would say, no, I don't want to be the number 1 hero in Japan. I want to be the number 1 hero in all the world. A hero that protects the entire world. He would say this with such confidence that Momo's heart would skip a beat. And then, out of nowhere, she would say, do you have a girlfriend? Deku would then say, huh? What? Why are you asking me that? Then the green light that happens when Ainz going to make him calm down would happen, and he would say, no, are you asking? Sorry about that. She would then say yes, and Deku would say, let's get to know each other before anything serious. Momo would say, sure, but I know what I want. 5 months and a few days later. They would have started. Izuku and Momo will start to go to school together. Izuku will have left that same school with Bakugo, not really wanting to be a part of people who treated him like that. He would then start training with Momo in his home gym. He would have taught Momo how to use a bow staff because, well, Deku is pretty much unstoppable here, so I'm pretty sure he will be able to make Momo practice with one weapon so she could get a better understanding of it and become a much better fighter and much more capable with her quirk. Deku would then be practicing with all his low tier spells and using his strength. Because I would think Ainz is far stronger than All Might. He would then learn how to control his strength to a much better degree. With all his resistances, no one will be able to stop Deku. That's just me saying something. And Momo and him would have started to date within those 5 months. Around this time, the events of the anime will have started to trigger. Deku wouldn't ever have been attacked by the sludge villain because, well, Deku's not there. Meaning All Might, it would take a little bit longer for him to find the sludge villain, but he would then find the sludge villain nonetheless. Bakugo wouldn't be attacked by the sludge villain, and everyone will go about their normal lives. Sorry, I'm going for a while. Until Deku would gather Momo's family and his mom and tell them, I have something really important to tell you guys. And Mr. Yajirozu would say, are you finally gonna propose to my daughter? I already have the marriage license and engagement stuff set up. And Deku would say, no, I have something really important to tell you. And Yajirozu would say, Dad, we're not even at that level yet. And he would say, I know, but I know you two will be a perfect match. But Deku would then tell them, I've been hiding something very important from you guys. The true nature of my quirk. Everyone would then be all ears. Deku would then say, I have many abilities. And I'm not sure how to say this, but my quirk allows me to transform if I want to use the full extent of it. Momo would be like, so you've only been using, and Deku would say, only about 20% of what I'm actually capable of. And Momo would be like, why not use everything? Because, and Deku would say, because the form I take isn't the most heroic form. And everyone would be like, heroic form doesn't matter. You want to be a hero, right, kid? Mr. Yajirozu would say. And Deku would say, yes, but then just show us. I'm pretty sure it's not that bad. And Deku would say, I'm not sure. And he would explain, my quirk makes me turn into a type of skeleton, or a lich, if you know what that is. And they would say, so what? Miss Yajirozu would say, my daughter loves you, and I consider you to be my future son-in-law. And I don't care what you look like. And everyone agree with her statement, and Deku would say, okay. He would then transform into Ainz, and he would say, this is my true form. And afterwards, everyone would be like, be scared and a little bit shocked about how scary he actually is and how big he is. Momo would then come up to Deku, hug him and say, I love you no matter what. And Deku would then say, me too. And Inko would say, you should have told me sooner, Deku. And Deku would then say, I'm sorry, Mom. And Mrs. Yajirozu would say, Mrs. and Mr. Yajirozu would say, it doesn't matter what you look like, kid. We still consider you family. Deku would then transform back and say, thank you. Then Deku would then get on one knee and pull out a ring of Ainz. He would then say, I want to give you a real ring soon, but this will have to be our engagement ring. Inko would be like, And Mr. Yajirozu would say, finally. And Mr. Yajirozu would say, I know, right? Momo would then be crying, saying, really? And Deku would say, this is an engagement ring, and I'll give you the real one later. But with this ring, you should be able to do my teleportation ability as well. And Momo would say, really? And she would say, I don't care about that. I'll take the ring. And then she would kiss Deku, finalizing their engagement. Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, I need you to sign some paperwork, kids. And Momo would say, okay, Dad, just give us a minute. Mr. Yaoyorozu would say, let's give the kids some space. Then they will all leave. For the next 10 months, Izuku and Momo would spend their time training and understanding their abilities. Momo will be practicing with the Ring of Ainz to use her teleportation ability to the finest extent, and Deku would be using every spell he can, testing out all the low tier spells, all his items like Perfect Warrior. If you don't know what that is, go watch the anime. But if you don't know, I'll be explaining it in the next parts. So, as time goes on, Momo would be better with teleporting with the Ring of Ainz, mastering more weapons like the bow staff, batons, and even archery. Okay, now we kick it off with this. Deku would be getting ready to go to UA to take the entrance exam. Momo would say, you could have gone in on recommendation. Deku would say, I don't want that. I want to show everyone my power and why I'm going to be the world's protector. And Mr. Yaoyorozu, and Inko would say, to be the world's protector, you're going to need to do a lot of dangerous stuff, so be safe, kid. And Inko would say, be safe, I love you, honey. And Deku would say, you guys have nothing to worry about. And he would then leave out. And before he leaves out, Momo would say, don't do anything you will regret, Deku. Having a strange feeling that something's gonna happen to Deku that she won't like. So, Deku would then teleport into UA's front gate, preparing to walk in until he sees Bakugo. And Bakugo would say, hey, if it isn't the quirkless wonder, I still haven't gotten you back for what you did to me. Bakugo would then start to charge at Deku, and Deku would say, if you attack me, do you think UA will let you in? Look over there, pointing to a camera. And Bakugo would then calm down, saying, we'll settle this later. And Deku would say, sure, the result will be the same either way. And Deku would then walk off. He would bump into Uraraka, and they would have a conversation. But Deku would then look back onto what Momo said. Don't do anything that you will regret. He would then cut the conversation short, walking in saying, sorry about that, I need to get in. She would say, yeah, okay. She would be kind of bummed because she did think he was cute, and she did enjoy talking to him. Bakugo and Deku would sit next to each other in the theater, and President M.I.M.E would explain everything for the practical exam. If you're wondering about the written exam, Deku was a genius, so he would get the highest score, tying with Momo. Ida would then scold President M.I.M.E about the zero-pointer, and he would say, that's just an obstacle to get in your way. Deku would then be at the training ground. He would then see Uraraka, but then think, nah, she's trying to get focused. President M.I.M.E would yell, there are no countdowns in real battles. Afterwards, Deku would run out. He would be smashing robots left and right. And then he would create a ton of skeleton undead. He would send them out to get him more points. Afterwards, Deku would then be using chain lightning, fire arrow, and stuff like that to destroy more robots, while his skeletons take down the others. Everyone would then be scared of Deku and impressed, like, how many quirks does this guy have? He's so good, he's taking out so many robots. Afterwards, the zero-pointer will appear. Uraraka will be stuck underneath rubble. Then, Deku would say, my normal power won't be enough to take down that. He would then transform into his Overlord form. That's what I'm gonna call it. All the teachers will be watching. Some of them would think he's the villain and try to go out, but All Might, Nezu, and Aizawa would stop them, saying he's a student. No, he's a participant in the exam. Deku would then fly up, with everyone thinking, oh, is that a villain? What is that thing? Deku would then fly to the zero-pointer robot, saying, black hole, creating a black hole. He would then throw it towards the gnome, sucking the zero-pointer in. I called it a normal, sorry about that. Afterwards, he would then fly down, lifting the rubble off of Uraraka. Uraraka would then be scared, saying, "Who are you?" And Deku would then transform back, and hold a red potion in front of her. And he would say, "Drink this will heal you." And she would say, she would be hesitant, but then she would just grab it and drink it. She would feel much better now and say, "Thank you for saving me. But what was that?" And Deku would say, "I'm sorry." And he wouldn't say "I'm sorry," but he would then start to explain. But then the alarm would go off, and the exam would be over. Deku would then say, "I'm sorry, finally." Sorry about that. And then he would teleport off, and she would be like, "What was that?" A few days later, Izuku and Momo would be on his bed cuddling. Nothing more, nothing less, just hugging each other. That's it. Sorry. I've been recording for so long. Inko and Mrs. Yajirosa would come in with Deku's letter to UA. And they would see what they were doing and say, "Enough of that." Deku and Momo would then get up saying, "Knock before entering someone else's room." And then they would say, "Never mind that." They would show Deku his letter from UA. All Might would then appear saying, "Young Midoriya, you got the highest score on the entrance exam, with a total of 300 points. 300 villain points, and over, I think you would at least get 100 rescue points." He would say, All Might would then say, "Welcome to the Hero Academia." And that's it for the video, you guys. I'm sorry I did make a lot of mistakes in this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. And it has been a while since I've recorded it, so that could be a thing too. But I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And comment down Overlord if you've seen the full video up to this point. Because now, I want to talk about this new thing I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing, what if Deku had, what if Goku was sent to Earth, but there was a Yard Radiant on Earth with him at the time? You guys will see, but I've been working on this for so long, I want to get you guys' opinion on it. But I've been recording for a total of 32 minutes, so yeah, so later, you guys. This has been King Majin, signing out.